Ah, Donna. Hello there. Yeah, it's Sunday morning for you. Female 43, Melbourne, Australia. Still no tracking number. Come on now, I just sent it again. No. Do you have you received the tracking number that I sent to your email? Have you checked your email? The tracking number is there. You know your email that you put on your purchase? That same email. Donna, can you check your email, please? Hello, Stephen. Male 39, Los Angeles. Thank you very much. Just hang on a second, guys. Let me get this tracking number for Donna because here it is. See, I just sent it to you. Where did Donna go? Okay, here's your tracking number. I write it right here. LX 0401904019 68277 CA. All right. There it is, LX 0401968277 CA. Donna, here's your tracking number. So, and I even took a screenshot of the post delivery thing. See, the Australian Post. The screenshot of it that says there. All right. So now you can track it and it'll tell you where it is. Right now it says item processed at facility Melbourne, Victoria. And it says it's on its way. But that was Friday the 13th December. Today is the 14th. That was yesterday. So now we know. Where'd you go, Donna? Just tell me you heard me. Don't disappear on me. All right. But that was the same story when I was sending another package, a bigger package with many books in it. And it took just about a month, if not more. And he was airlined and I had the tracking number. And I paid an arm and a leg for it. But that's your post system for you. No, forget the email. I just put it up here, dear. Can you see it up there? Because the email I use is the same email that I sent you before, say if you want me to sign your book, and you said yes, please sign it. So same email I used, and I sent that information now 2 times. But now I put it up here. You see up there, just about right between the 2 messages Ross has put in. So it's your message, then it's Steve's 2 messages, then it's Ross, then it's your tracking number. LX040196827CA. And it says no tracking number, but no stress. She'll be right, mate. Yeah. More importantly, I need your and everyone's help with what I do now. Breakfast bloke wants to see me again. Yeah, well, so what's wrong with that? What do you guys say? Remember, guys, our new system is that you guys put in your questions as soon as you can, or maybe even a day ahead before the live talks. Then I read them and I choose maybe 2 or 3 or whatever our time allows, and I explore on that. Then people can make comment on that particular, and maybe I use the explanation of one example or question in a way that it would cover many other questions that I read, so everybody can benefit. Otherwise, it'll be a one-on-one type of thing, which I don't want it to be turned into that. So, while I'm addressing Donna's, because it's a special, simple, but special case, she wants to know what to do now. So, what's your problem, Donna? Why not? What's wrong? You spent 4.5 hours with the guy at breakfast, so must have had enough things to talk about of interest. So why are you thinking, should you now see him or not? Yeah, why not? What's wrong with that? What is your concern? Obviously, if it was not interesting to some point, you wouldn't have spent 4.5 hours of your time with him. Wouldn't that tell you that merits a second date? Until you get back to me, let me read the questions that we have here and choose which one to address it. Ross says, hi Mehran, hope you're well. Male 30 UK. Hello Ross. Says, I struggle with my mood sometimes. Who doesn't? And it affects my relationships and how people see me. I keep messing up relationships when I get down about things in my life. Naturally. But the question is, why do you want a relationship right now when you are trying to make things sorted out in your life? Wouldn't it maybe possibly be a good idea to sort things out first? Get yourself to a place where you're happy about your life, and then try to find a girlfriend. It is possible that you're trying to find a girlfriend to overshadow your responsibilities by paying attention to what brings you pleasure, a relationship, so you will have an excuse not to attend to what it is that you know you should be attending, which is your life. I don't know what you do, study, job, projects, whatever it is that you want to accomplish. more money you want to make, you are short of money, whatever it is, you're trying to replace that effort that you need to put in sorting out those challenges by being in a relationship and feel good and pleasure, feel pleasure and get your happiness there to the point that you don't find any reason why should I do anything else. I'm happy here. So you want to hide in a relationship. You want to hide in cocoon of pleasure. And that is exactly the same as addiction. You find a reason to escape from your responsibilities and challenges, and you climb into a bottle for drinking or some kind of a drug to simply think that in an illusory way, you have remedied the problem by not noticing it. It's like having a little cut on your arm and then not looking at it and thinking that it's not there. It's still there. If you don't take care of it, it's going to get infected. Then it's going to have a lot more trouble. So why don't you pay attention to the wound, to the cut, put proper cleansing, go to the doctor, show it, take care of it, sew it up and dress it up and close it and help it to heal, and then go and play tennis or soccer. Rather than thinking, oh, it's not there, I just go do my thing and go into the mud and do whatever I have to do, and they get more and more infected. So what I'm trying to tell you is that focus on what needs your attention, not managing to get our attention away from a challenge and thinking that the challenge doesn't need your attention. And I think that's what you're doing with the relationship. And then, of course, it affects the relationship as well, because those problems haven't gone away just because you're having a little bit of fun. I think that clears that. And Ross says, I work in healthcare and I seem to have developed an unhealthy attitude towards people, and my empathy for others has started to dwindle. How do I become happy and build stable relationships without sabotaging them? Well, I think that's exactly what it is. You don't like your job, you're tired of it, and instead of dealing with it, you're trying to find solution in a relationship through pleasure, and turn that into your go-to place to hide. Again, some people find it in a bottle, drugs, and gambling and other things, whatever that makes them fully focus on that, but not on the stuff that they have to focus. And momentarily, they try to bring about an illusory situation where in it, they don't feel any other responsibility that they have, so they could kind of feel, oh, it's all resolved. Because they think if they don't think about it, if they don't worry about it, then the problem is not there. Whether you worry about it or not, something that needs to be handled, got to be handled. Handle everything as soon as you can and get that done. Now, let's go to, I think you definitely need to check with your doctor and make sure there are no chemical imbalance in your blood. They check your blood, and if there is a reason for if there's a clinical reason for your mood swings or being depressed or whatnot, that could affect the other aspects of your life as well, the doctors will tell you. Because as you know, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a psychologist or psychiatrist. I have no medical credentials. So it is just a senseful thing to do to discuss it with your doctor and make sure those are taken care of. And then having checked you out and given you the clean bill of health in that area, then you can simply, by all means, make an appointment with me on Skype, and we'll chat about what it is that's concerning you, and we'll deal with it knowing that you've already checked with your doctors and there's no medical challenge there. Then we'll logically try to figure out how to get that root of the problem in your psyche as far as your thoughts and consciousness, fear, desire, ego, and so on is concerned, and see how that could give you reasons to ponder. And Obama Your Mama says, male, Tampa, Florida, 31 years old. Is it true that you never get over certain people and you just have to learn to live with it? No. You always get over anybody. It depends on if you keep wanting to look at this tea and say, how can I forget about this tea? Well, yeah, because you keep reminding yourself and rejuvenating the conditionings that you're given to synaptic neurons to constantly be on alert for this and constantly be trained to want it, like it, or think about it. So you promoting that, and it becomes a conditioning. But if I don't want to worry about this or be concerned about it, so why don't I just look at something else that I'm interested in? Focus on creating and making effort in things other than what it is that I want to think about. So of course you can forget anybody. Ross says, thank you for your response, Mary. You're quite welcome. Donna says he was overly interested in Brett's death. I don't know what that means. And that bothers me. In Brett's death. What do you mean Brett's death? Could you please tell me what that means? And that bothers me. Only thing that makes me go, it's a great bloke, lots in common, really interesting. But I still don't know what Brett's death means or is or referred to, signifies. So I can't say anything. Luna says, good evening, Mehran. Hope all is well. Thank you, Luna. Female, 35, UK. Donna says, I'm a work widow. Oh, Brett was your hubby's name. I'm a work widow, remember? Hubby died at work in 2000. Okay. So Brett was the name of your husband, and he died at work. So you say the guy who you went out with, he was overly interested in Brett's death. Oh. I think he just wanted to be respectful to you and not try to pretend he's replacing him or he has any intention of that. He probably wanted to know more about him. He felt probably that's a topic of interest and he's trying to show interest to what is important to you in order to get closer to you, like he's interested to what could concern you. And he probably didn't know when to wean out of that and move on and not try to stay in that too long. But as far as that little bit that you told me, I don't think he meant any malice. And you can go another date with the guy, and if he still talks about it, you say, you know, I have had my grieving, I've had my feelings about this, and I'm interested to let that rest. And so I could focus on matters that could affect me immediately. So why don't we, as much as I appreciate your kindness and respect towards this matter, I would think that it's time to, to let that rest. Something of that sort. So he will get it from you, then he would have a permission to let it go. He might think that he doesn't have a permission to let it go, and he would be disrespectful if he's not interested in the man that, obviously you're hurt by the incident and you miss and so on. Sarah says, hello Mehran, hope all is well. Female 37 London, hello Sarah. Juanpa, pura vida Juanpa. Male 24 Costa Rica. Juanpa says, Mehran, I'm sorry, why are you so, oh, for the N? That's all right. Luna says, greetings, Donna. Oh, okay, you're talking Donna. Is it cold? Where are you, Luna? Let's see. Luna, UK. Oh, is it cold in UK? Oh, interesting. Donna is in Australia, Luna. So looks like that we don't have, oh, there it is. We've got one question here. Steven says, it's weird, for most of the week I felt really good, and for whatever reason yesterday I kept thinking about my ex. Today I woke up perfectly fine, maybe because I fell asleep listening to your video. Yeah, maybe kind of dozed off on my videos. It happens, you know. We're all human beings. Sometimes it's cold and we want to get cozy, and who do we think? We think about intimacy. We think about pleasure. That's in our genes. We're programmed. Everybody is programmed according to their gender. A heterosexual male is programmed according to his gender, and that programming is to want to be with a woman and feel amazing with the right woman. And different atmospheres, different conditioning suggests certain mood. If it's cold, the first thing you're going to think is, maybe in some cases, depending on what you like, you want to have a cup of tea or cocoa or watch a movie, have your girlfriend beside you or your wife. And these are the feelings that a human being has. We are like wolves. We like, pack. We like to be in a pack, and our pack is our significant other, just a female. For a heterosexual male, a female is where he can flourish, where he can feel strong, at ease, comfort. And so that is what comes to your mind. And then from there, the natural feeling of desiring to spend your time with a female, with woman, where does that go? Well, then the first girl is going to come into your mind, going to be the most recent girlfriend that you broke up with. Because it's always the case, whenever you feel or think about your desire to be with a woman and you're not in a relationship, the most recent girlfriend that you were with in a relationship would come to your mind. Heterosexual male thinks about sex and intimacy hundreds of times a day. Could be every 5 seconds. Could be every 10 seconds, depending what you're focused on, what you're busy with. If you're busy with something, whether it's sports or work or project or studies, you might not. Well, studies you still will, but in the library, it's a good escape. But if you're, at leisure, relaxed and stuff, you could be thinking about it every 10 seconds, 5 seconds, 20 seconds, depending on what the focus is. And when that happens, the most recent relationship, the most recent woman that you were in a relationship with, not a one-night stand or things like that, in a relationship, a romantic relationship with feelings, that's the one that comes to your mind. And you think you're missing her. You're not really missing that person, but that person happened to be the most recent one, which is right in forefront of your memory, and the most recent experience, romantic experience, that's the one has the priority that you want to spend that time with. So whether it's cold, you want to cozy up, watch a movie, or whether it's somewhere beautiful, you're sitting having tea and you want to share it with someone, you're walking on beach and thinking about your life and so on. Again, you feel that coziness to share that or seek refuge in the warmth of and attention of a woman, and all of that are reasons for you to think about the most recent woman you were in a relationship. So that doesn't tell you that she was the right girl. It just means she was the most recent. So when you think about it, enjoy it, but don't think that that's any evidence that you should be with her or she's the best one, or no. It's just the way it works in your psyche. That's all. So move on with it. And let's see what we have here. And Donna says, thank you, Mehran. Good response. We'll do that. Lana says, I'm on the Luna, I'm on the Prisoner Island, mate. Oh, okay, Prisoner Island. Wow. Is that a real place? Scary just to be there. Juanpa says, Mehran, what are you planning for the holidays? Nothing, just enjoying the spirit of Christmas and enjoying the spirit of holidays. And it's always an amazing time. People go out of their ways to be polite and nice, as if that's the only time of the year they should be polite and nice. They become more aware of other people. The world gets a little bit of a jolt of more kindness and emotion, and I like that kind of spirit, regardless of what celebration it is. If it has this effect of warmth and closeness between human beings and humanity, arises above all the nonsense that we are pretending we have to deal with, or we have created and want to deal with, then I celebrate all of them. And Christmas is a special time, always been. Even though I wasn't raised as a Christian, I'm not a Christian, and I was raised in a Muslim country, but ever since I was a kid, my mother always had Christmas tree up, and my uncle was actually my father's best friend. He had a big orchard, and he was in the orchard business. He had a big village, or not village, I mean land. Even the whole place was theirs, I guess. And he would bring a Christmas tree every year, and as my mom had requested, and we would set it up, decorate it and have gifts and all that. So we loved it because we would then have Christmas and the gifts. But it wasn't a religious celebration for us. It was a New Year celebration. Like, it was Christmas to us was not, we wouldn't call it Christmas. It would be known as Janvier, January, which was signifying celebration of a new year. Of course, we were aware that was Christ's birthday as well, but the religious connotation of it was not in mind. The celebration, the spirit of it was what we were involved in. And my family was never religious anyhow, but everybody had beliefs in something, and that's very good, especially for kids, until they know that they have found their way and they don't have to be so dogmatically following religious rules at any corner. But celebrating these fine religions to help bring more humanity and cooperation, cohesiveness between the people, it's always wonderful. So we celebrated Christmas, January, and then we would get gifts on Nowruz, which is the Persian 6,000 years old tradition of Persian way of celebrating a new year, which would happen on the 21st of March, the equinox, the complete revolution of Earth around the sun. And every year had a specific time, like by seconds. Sometimes we had to get up 3 o'clock in the morning because that was the time that the Earth would complete its revolution around the sun. And so we had to be awake, properly dressed, with all the goodies on the table, and father and mother would also be there to give us the presents. And the older we got, the more presents looked like something, because they became money. The childhood, they were like, I don't know, toys and books and things, which we hated. And when a relative would give us a book, God damn it, what is book at the time? And some close relatives knew that my brother and I were sometimes in arguments, so they would be pretty tricky. They would give me the book volume 2 and they would give him the same book story volume 1, and now we had to exchange. That was maybe a cause to kind of be good to each other. So anyhow, cutting along the story short, celebration is great, whether it's Christmas celebration, it's Muslim celebrations, Judaism celebration, Hinduism celebration, Buddhism celebration. I don't care what kind of religion it is, as long as it's helping people to be good to each other and live side by side as brothers and sisters and happy and help each other in this journey of life, then it's a welcome celebration. That's what I think. Luna says, yes, freezing. Breezing, Mehran. Okay. And Steven says, maybe that explains it. Also, it's cold now in LA, but now as cold as Vancouver. Not as cold as Vancouver. Steven, how is the fire situation in Los Angeles? Is it now all gone? The weather is normal? Clean? Steven says, that's true. I never think of the relationships before the most recent. Yeah. That's why I get the big bucks. I figure these things out. Sarah says, Mehran, last you helped my reminding me that I should be glad for my breakup, that I dodged a bullet. As you may recall, he went back to his ex for the sake of his little boy. But this week, I struggle so much. I have so much anger and jealousy in me. My heart is broken all over again after finding about the new baby. I've gone back 10 steps. It's made me realize I have to let go. I miss him. No, you don't miss him. You miss somebody. You miss a relationship. You miss that feeling of shine and romance and attention. It's not him that you miss. You miss the concept. Because if you really look at it, it's silly to miss such a person with such credentials, which is all negative for you. An ex-wife, a child, a second one now on the way or born. And what do you want to be in there for? If you watch the video I uploaded last night, it says why you want your ex back, which it's only 8 minutes, but it's part 1 of a series that I'm beginning to explore and discuss, like some other videos that I've done in the past, but this one is going to be in shorter pieces, but more numbers, more parts. If you have watched that, you would have gotten, you would get the answers that you're looking for, pretty much. The idea of being angry is not an evidence that that person that you're missing is the right person. I bet you if you had some other guy who was just as wonderful, you had spent enough time to get to know him and him you, and you would have hit it off, you wouldn't even care about this memory that you have with this guy. But right now, since there is none around to actually even keep your attention going, you keep thinking about that. Like, imagine if you have a vacuum cleaner and you need that vacuum cleaner to keep place tidy, and not to let it, let mushroom grow out of your carpets or whatever, flooring, whatever it is, or your home in general. And the vacuum cleaner breaks down. Now, as long as you haven't replaced another one, bought another one, brought home and start using it, every time that you see a dust, every time you see that you're not feeling uncomfortable, the smell of the house, the dustiness of the carpet or the flooring, you think about that very vacuum cleaner that is broken up. You don't think about a vacuum cleaner that is not broken up in the store waiting for you to buy it. But as soon as you do buy one, you won't think about that vacuum cleaner. So thinking about the vacuum cleaner that is broken is not necessarily an evidence that that's the best vacuum cleaner. It's broken. How could it be the best vacuum cleaner? The thing is, you don't think about what it is right now, that the vacuum cleaner broken. You don't think about the broken vacuum cleaner when you think about it now. You think about it, you think about the need for a vacuum cleaner, and when it was good, which was when it wasn't broken, comes to your mind. You refer to the vacuum cleaner that is broken now as when it was not broken, when you think about it, when you see the need for it, when your home is not clean and you can't use it to clean your home. That's the problem. But if you see the vacuum cleaner, when you notice your home is not clean, when you see the vacuum cleaner, it reminds you of the vacuum cleaner, and then you see it as what it is, broken, you wouldn't want it. You wouldn't say, I wish I had it back. No, you wish you had the vacuum cleaner when it was working properly back. And so now you're wishing the guy when it was working, he wasn't with his ex-wife, he hadn't decided to go back, or when you didn't know that he had the ex-wife, you want that, which means you want that relationship, that concept, that situation. Not this guy that, if you look at him now, is a guy with an ex-wife, with a couple of children, and it's no place and nobody to actually give him credit or opportunity to be with you, because it's not going to be the right choice for you. So see the guy for who he is, you will see that it's not the right choice. When you see it's not the right choice, you would not desire him, because you're not stupid. And when you don't desire him, you won't get angry, because you look, I want something that is working, something that is good. So I'm going to go and work on my life and get my life sorted out, and then I give opportunity to a qualified vacuum cleaner. Let's hope that helps you out a bit. Sarah. All right. Donna says December 25th is the day for sunburn, seafood, and being outside. Cricket in the backyard in the Arvo. Now I'm learning Australian. What is Arvo? And we have guys, remember, if you write me a book, I'm not going to answer, because this is supposed to be a live talk for everybody, so I'm not going to turn it into personal. If you guys want to have a personal attention, God damn it, go on the site and make an appointment. And so the channel makes gives proper services at the same time, makes some money. This is a live talk for short answers for everyone's benefit, not in a specific situations. Does that make sense, guys? You guys agree? Stephen said the fire stopped. Seemed like each year the fires out here are really bad. Yeah, we have it too. We have it too, and it wasn't that bad this year, thank God. Kia says hi from Italy. Oh, buongiorno or buonasera. I think buonasera would. Come stai? Va bene, I hope. Good answer, Donna. For Sarah. Sarah says, but I am jealous. She has the good vacuum cleaner now. She took. Yeah, but jealousy is a choice, dear. Listen to what I just said. Jealousy is a choice. You don't have to be jealous. Jealousy is a word, has a meaning, and you seem to have been conditioned. Everyone seems to have been receiving some conditioning that I gotta, in such situation, I gotta be jealous. Why? I've never in my life ever, childhood or not, ever experienced being jealous about anything, anybody, anywhere. Ever. I don't know. I just never had any place for this concept. And I never thought anyone could ever be jealous about me, towards me, because I never thought it could have any actuality, jealousy. Like it's never was part of me thinking. My thinking, that's my English. British. But I learned that there is. Some people are like that, and they're living in a prison. They're living in a prison they've created. They're living in a limited framework that they have created, that they don't have to be. They don't have to be jealous about anybody. They can go and enjoy their life with what they have, and whatever know-how, whatever expertise, whatever money, whatever job, whatever wisdom, whatever ability, research, knowledge, experiences they have, they can be happy with that and expand on it. That's the name of the game. Not to compare it with somebody else and then say, oh, compared to that, I don't have enough. No, you don't compare it. You have enough all the time in everything. And you want more? Go get it. Educate better, work more, smarter, however. Sort things out for yourself, but don't compare it, and don't think that you have to. Jealousy is a concept you have to follow, a part of life. No, bullshit. There's no such thing. Everybody is unique and their life is unique. Use your smarts to advance your life. You gotta move. You don't have to like this man. You think you do. And you've convinced yourself, I do, I have to. He was the best. Why? You had a plate of food that it was delicious, and then while you were eating, you found a little cockroach in it. Or some kind of a snot. Well, that's the time you stop. You can't keep thinking. You can say, well, okay, until I got to that point, it was delicious food. But I can't say, because part of it was delicious, then the whole food is the best food ever. I want more of it. No, it had cockroach in it. And every plate that you order, they will have another cockroach in it. Because that's how the plate comes in. It's part of the garnish. And it might have that snot in because the cook is still sick and dripping up while he's preparing it. So you need to understand this is the actuality of this dish. Therefore, it cannot be the best dish. It was good while you hadn't gotten to the bad part of it. And this relationship, the same, it was good while it hadn't gotten expanded into different areas and situations that you didn't think it would. But when it did, then you should look at it as its entirety, not to just say, oh, this part of the plate was good, so the whole food is good. No, this part of the plate was good. This part of the relationship, before you get to that other part of the new situation that he and you got, the relationship was good. Not that the entirety of the experience of the relationship was good, and therefore this is the best relationship you could have, therefore he's the best candidate. No, not at all. You got to look at the entirety. Do you want this? Or you want what? The kids to die, the wife to die, and then you can have this? Would that be acceptable to you? Of course not. So understand that you have a role in this life, and with your choices, you can contribute to well-being of the others and yourself. If you think about it carefully, by wishing that family well, the children specifically, that they could have their mom and dad together, then that will give you enough reason for not wanting to have anything to do with this guy, which would make them and keep the children happy, and at the same time gives you enough reason for you to see that these are the reasons I don't want this guy at all, and then you would move on, which would make you happy because you would be in pursuit of something decent and reasonable and wonderful for you. Simple. But if you want to work yourself into that, or you should be jealous and unhappy and angry, well, that's your choice. But I don't recommend it, because you're smarter than that and you know better. Otherwise you wouldn't be here on watching my stuff on the channel. See, I just plugged it in. Jack, Colonel, where the hell have you been? Last time I said hello to you and then you disappeared. What happened? So, hello, Mehran. Hello, Jack. Kia says, buonasera, mister. Yeah, buonasera, dear. Good answer, Dana, for Sarah. Nikki, where have you been, Nikki? Nikki says, hi, Mehran, with that beautiful heart there. Thank you for that. Nikki, you are in Florida, right? And how did the studies, bar exam, I think you were studying to be a lawyer. Am I remembering it right? How are things? You haven't been around for a long time. Jack says, Mehran, why does my ex randomly come into my head? Why wouldn't? You're a heterosexual male, you love women, and we think about women God knows how many times a day, and every time that it does, the most recent girl in your life, most recent romantic relationship in your life comes to your mind, and she's the one. So that's normal, but it's not supposed to mean anything that, oh, it's a call from heaven that I should now be focused. It's a message from God. No, it's just the way we are put together. And he says, it hasn't happened for a while. Yeah, because you're a man in the army and you're horny, and obviously you haven't had time to establish new relationships and so on. So obviously we go into our memory, try to use the memory to bring actuality, because the thought doesn't understand, differentiate between actuality and memory. Because in the memory, there are memory files. In the memory files, there are emotional files. You think about a girl, the emotional files of that girl experiences will come with it. And then you experience those emotions now, even though they're dead in the past, but they're in the form of recording memory. But when they come up and you are connected with those emotional files, you react to that memory, emotional memory. And when you react, the reaction is happening. You know, it's like you think of something sour fruit in your mouth, you start salivating, even though it's a memory, but the reaction to that sourness of that fruit is real, is actual, is happening now. And because that reaction is happening now, you can feel it's happening now, you consider that alive, you consider that real, which is real, the reaction is real, and then you think the feeling, the moment, the experience is real, is now, or must be pursued, because something real about it has been touched, has touched you. But it's how we react. You think about the sour fruit, you salivate. You think about, the memories that you have with her, naturally you have that emotional reaction you had then when you were with her. But because that emotional reaction makes you feel the way you do in actuality now, even though it's because of the memory you had in your mind, in your past, you think that it's happening now, or it must be happening, or you must pursue it, turn it into what your emotional reaction is telling you. It's like an evidence or a message. None of that. And says, for a while, but these past few days I've been thinking of my ex more, but with far less emotions attached to the thought of her. Yeah, naturally. I would be surprised if you didn't. That's what we are. And he says, she's my ex, I don't want her back, but I wish her well. Yeah, of course. You're a guy, you remember how it felt when you're with a woman, and these are the feelings that we cherish, so it's natural to think about it. Don't overthink it, though. Kia says, thank you for this conversation. You are very smart and absolutely nice. I thank you very much, Kia. Prego, I guess. No, not prego. Yeah, prego, I guess. Prego. Jeep King 666 says, hi Mehran, hello. And Steven says, I've been going through your books. I want to read the entirety of it and not skip through chapters. Which one would you recommend to begin with? I remember you mentioning Mind. Me, My Psyche, and I. That's the book I highly recommend. Me, My Psyche, and I. And those chapters are unrelated unless they're like saying a certain title 1, 2, and 3. Yeah, you want to go on sequence on those. But all chapters, I don't know, 65, 60, whatever chapters there. You can choose whichever you want to choose based on what, tickles your fancy at that day, what you want to focus on or ponder on. And don't read them all at the same time. It won't make sense to you because it's just heavy. Every chapter you got to digest it. You got to read it slow and think about it and see what it's trying to say, and then go inwardly, examine it in your own case, in your own psyche, and see it for yourself, not because I've said something there or written something there. Examine that what I'm saying inside yourself, and then say, I see it. Something like that. And then if you have transient thoughts that appear in your head and you didn't invite them, and you want to know what are they doing there, where did they come from, how do I manage them, what to do with them, do they define me, do they represent me, do they say something about me just because they came into my head? How do I deal with these things? They weren't invited. Where did they show up from? Why did they show up from? And then for that you would want to read Transient Thoughts and Me. Transient Thoughts and Me. And yeah, that's what I have to say about that. Sarah says, I got your books. Which part should I focus on that would also help. Me, my psyche, and I. Look at the table of contents, see which one is the one that you actually want to read on, because it seems to be what you want to find out more about. You know, sometimes we want something out of fear, a fear of not having it in the future. That doesn't mean necessarily what you don't have is the right thing for you, but the fear of not actually having what you're looking for makes you kind of think, well, this was better than nothing, and it was almost working, it was almost there, so maybe I should still have it, or pursue it, or miss it, or wish for it, and all that. That's just a reaction to your own insecurities, which human being is in most cases insecure. Because one of the most important things in us is that we are in pursuit of the elusive psychological security. And we don't even know how to go about it, and we can never find it. But at the same time, we're constantly in pursuit of certainty and psychological security. And we try to bring about that elusive psychological security, intangible psychological security, through material and tangible and mechanical life. Which that by itself, pursuing psychological security through mechanical life, material life, is one reason that you can never get it. That's another topic for another time. If we have some real discussion on that, then we'll get into it. But for now, let's go back to what we have here. River Shay says, I just broke up with someone 3 weeks ago and am starting to have regrets. Should I? No, at the time you make that decision, you were convinced that the decision was correct. Those reasons are still there. But the idea of not having what you had, which you're conditioned to think that if I lose something, I'm diminished. If I gain something, I'm more. That's what's making you to regret, because you don't want to have lost something. You want to gain something. So, in other words, you want to have what you didn't like, but not dislike it. Well, if that was the case, you would have never broken up. Obviously, there were reasons that you did that. So, stick to it. Move on. Move on and find something better, and it will eventually, you'll be fine with it. But you are having interference from your ego, your desire, and your emotional memories. So obviously you're going to react to them every once in a while and doubt yourself. But that's not because your decision was wrong necessarily. I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was wrong or right, but it's not because the decision was wrong. It was because you're now being influenced by your ego, your desire for pleasure, your experience of pleasure, and the things that really didn't have anything to do with your decision to break up, and they were all part of the pleasure part of the whole relationship, which comes to your mind, and that's the nature of human beings. It thinks about the things that are pleasurable about the past relationships. That's why you regret, because you never think about the things that were wrong with the relationship and the reasons that you broke up the relationship. You always think about the good parts of a relationship. That's a plus about us humans, that we forget the bad stuff and remember the good stuff. That's how we can go on in life. And now, having dealt with the bad stuff, now it's out of your system. Now you think about the good stuff, and then you miss the good stuff while the bad stuff is still there if you focus on it. All right, I think I've said the gist of it. Mentioning mind. I remember you mentioning mind, Psyche and I. Me, my Psyche. That's right. Yeah, right. RXP says, are we living in a simulation? No. No. We are living. This is it. This is tea. No simulation here. It's wet. And it's called but it's Tailors by Harrogate. And it's the greatest, one of the greatest chamomile tea I've ever had. Tailors of Harrogate. Yeah, a British tea and a real good quality. And we have, Jack says, thank you, Mehran, you're welcome. Kia says, bravo, prego is correct. Yes. You know, when I was a little kid, I've told this story many times before, but I guess I'll say it to you guys now that Kia is from Italy. When I was a little boy, I don't know, maybe 5-year-old, 6-year-old, I don't know. We used to travel a lot with my mom and dad, the summer times, Europe. And with my uncle, whose wife was Italian, we happened to meet in Italy. And we went to this restaurant by the sea, beautiful, I guess, atmosphere. And they brought crab. Or was it? Yes, it was. No, lobster. It was lobster. And it's kind of interesting to me because it was alive. So and I guess they were showing to choose. But I was too kid. I don't remember exactly. But what I do remember is that I wanted something. I wanted water. So I knew a bit of Italian here and there. So I said, I didn't know what I'm saying, but I thought this is what I should be saying. So I said, senta, senta, senta. So when the person, garçon, the server came, I thought what I want, senta is part of the sentence that I should say in order to get what I want. So I said, senta, senta, senta. When the senta came, I still said, senta per favore acqua minerale. Senta per favore acqua minerale. Instead of just saying, per favore acqua minerale, I included the word senta, which was just meaning, waiter, I think. So to me, that was funny. So if you go back in time and look at me when I was like 5-year-old, 6-year-old and saying that, I think that was cute. It might not be now, but that's my story about Italy and having lunch with my family there. Sarah says exactly, yes, it's definitely fear. I can see my age is an issue for me now. I see that. That scares me a lot. Not meeting social standards. You are right. I want to have you as my spiritual psychotherapist. You're great and so wise. Well, my pleasure. And you know that I'm not a doctor, I'm not a psychologist or a psychiatrist. But knowing that, you can still go on my site, make an appointment, and talk to me on Skype, and I'll be more than happy to discuss and explore with you what's concerning you. Okay, guys, looks like we hit all the questions, and it's 1 hour and 8 minutes. That's about the time I have for today. And I want to tell you I love you all. Thank you very much for giving me time to share a thing or two with you. And I look forward to talk to you again. I'm not sure if it's going to be tomorrow or not, but nevertheless, don't forget that usually Fridays, 12 noon Vancouver time, we will have live talks as best as I can arrange it, unless something happens that I can't, but usually we will have that. And I try to, I might get around to announce it on my Instagram as well or not, but whether I do or not, this is how we aim to have Friday nights, 12 noon Vancouver time, and possibly Saturday and Sunday, depending on if it's possible or not. Same time, 12 noon Vancouver time. But today was late because, what can I say? I slept late and I was working to put that video up for you guys last night, and I hope that you guys go and check it out. It's called Why You Want the Ex Back, Why You Want Your Ex Back. And by the way, if you notice, I have a little intro now. I have a little logo and a little bit of a 10-second talk and then logo, and then the video starts. So I'm kind of upping the artistic expression of this channel. So don't forget to share the videos that you like on your social media. Click on the likes and make comments on every video that you watch. I don't care even just to say hello, because the algorithm of YouTube looks for those things in order to put us on the map. And of course, talk about it in Reddit and any other opportunity you can have, news media or school newspaper or whatever it is that you have in and connection with. Help us to grow, otherwise the channel will wither and die, and I don't want that happen, because I love helping you guys and sharing the little I know in this journey of life. So have a wonderful day, be good to yourself, to the others, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.